panel is on NFT utility. It'll be moderated by Brian Nelson, the VP of Surety. And we have Adrian Ashley. I'll just do it. Adrian Ashley here. We have Jacques Voorhees of IceCap. Hello. Oh, you got to hand out some. Well, I'll hand them out in a second. Hrish from Super World. We got Crypto Miggy. All right.
Hey, I'm moderating here, Eric. Come on.
All right, so we've got like 20 minutes and we've got 4 panelists and me, so I'm going to try to not talk very much and let them talk. So I'm Brian Nelson. I know Brian Santos since 2013. Love the guy. Check out the flag token. Okay. Moving on. So I do surety bonds for state licensed money transmitters. That's one of the things I do. You need bonds. Let's talk. But as it relates to this panel, I've done work in the play-to-earn space with a Splinterlands game, a marketplace for Splinterlands game called Peak Monsters. And then I was part of Block B back in 2018. Where you called and spoke yesterday. I ran community for that project. And that was all about NFTs and smart digital assets. And so that's me. If you'll each take 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Adrian Ashley, longtime OG, got my first Bitcoin in 2009. Started designing blockchain projects, did my first NFT design in 2015 before it was even technically possible, definitely not affordable, to replace the bricks in front of a hospital so that the donors could actually track the value of their dollars. 2017 to 2019, I traveled the world teaching hedge funds and family offices due diligence and compliance. Also launched a naughty dating app for good girls that gets women laid. Putting consent on the blockchain on NFTs. I'm the co-founder of the Billionaire Zombies Club, DAO, and I have a project called Foxy that is minting right now that educates 1 million women in blockchain development and entrepreneurship.
Thank you. I'm supposed to follow that?
Yep. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
She said she was going to sing, we got it.
Yeah, we got it. All right. I'm Jacques Voorhees, president and founder of IceCap. We do diamond NFTs. What that means is we issue an NFT with a real diamond. The diamond goes in a vault. The NFT can be traded back and forth. It opens up the investment market for diamonds. We're hoping that it will unleash a $12 billion new demand. But I'm not well known in this industry. Many of you may know my son, Eric Voorhees. I always try to slip that into the conversation somehow because that gives me instant credibility.
That's a good name drop. Thank you. I was going to do it later.
You raised a good one.
Yeah, thank you. Hey everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Hrish Lotlikar. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Super World. Super World's a virtual world. Thank you. Mapped on top of the real world, and our focus is improving people's real lives and building a better world and enhancing humanity in the physical world. Just to zip through my background, I kind of come from management consulting, investment banking. I worked on Wall Street, UBS, and HSBC, and real estate investment banking of all places. So I understand the traditional real estate world, got into venture capital. Previously was an early team member of TopTal, an Andreessen Horowitz-backed talent platform. And then previously the Super World started Rogue Initiative Studios, which is a film, television, gaming, and virtual reality studio in Hollywood. My co-founder did Call of Duty, Modern Warfare series, and Ghost. My production partner is Michael Bay, the action director, and we're doing big franchises there. And we saw Pokemon Go come out about 6 years ago. It became this huge phenomenon. And we thought, you know what? What if we could build a world where anyone could build anything they wanted and be able to monetize anything they wanted anywhere and to also own the world? And that's the vision of Super World. Thank you.
My name is Miguel. I go by Miggy Crypto. I'm an advisor for Future Stuff Inc. and also founder of Crypto. First got in the space back in 2012. Like most people did, just got involved buying, selling, trading. Went on to build small communities over the years and just kind of really find the functionality of living on the blockchain and using cryptocurrency in real life. Now what I've been doing for the last year is helping incubate projects looking to get into the NFT space. Also doing a lot of NFT strategy development and community building. Just trying to make it easier for people to access the awesome things that the other panelists are creating.
All right, thank you all. I mean, we've all been in the space quite a while, from 2009, 10, 11, 12, whatever. So we've seen this progression, right? We saw Bitcoin was just Bitcoin, and then we saw the discussion of blockchain, and then we had ICOs, and then NFTs and DeFi. And I think through this whole process, for me anyways, I really noticed that when there's utility, there's power. And then when there's not utility, things are just speculative, and who knows what's going to happen, right? And
Right.
Yes, thank you. So this whole panel is about utility of NFT tokens. Somebody want to answer, what does that mean when we say utility of an NFT token?
Can I?
Like to you, in your opinion.
Okay, so imagine you're going to a concert in the metaverse. The musician now actually has the ability, because they have their performance rights and they make their money on the road. But COVID, hello, we didn't leave the house for 2 years. But now they can do a concert in the metaverse. They can sell general admission tickets, they can sell VIP tickets, they can sell backstage passes. General admission, they get their merch table, their regular merch table, and they can buy different NFTs that they can wear, clothing that they can wear in the metaverse. They go to the VIP table, they get limited edition opportunities as well. So say you have 100 t-shirts, they only sell 7, they burn the other 93. Now there's only 7. Those become extraordinarily more collectible. You have a backstage pass, you have a meet and greet that's immediately filmed, turned into an NFT, and airdropped into your wallet from that celebrity's wallet. With a music person, you can actually take all of their album, every single song is a different trading card image that unlocks that song. It inspires, if you release them in like wax packs or baseball card packs, it inspires secondary market trading. You collect all of them, then you get that last one, which is the secret song that only the people who collect everything get. And then every single one of those trading cards are sectioned out from common, uncommon, rare, super rare. Those super rare people get extra benefit and utility because you'll do a monthly AMA, and then that person can be on the video chat with that celebrity.
Okay, pause.
Sorry.
That's okay. So in that concert example, the original NFT would be the ticket.
You can have the ticket, you can have the music piece, that's the trading card piece. You can have the merchandise, which is an NFT that's a 3D metaverse ready that you can wear. And you can then also but to sell those tickets, they have a ticket to your community, they have an NFT for your community. You can geofence Dallas plus 50 or Dallas plus 100 for a live concert and sell out even before you could get them to American Express Black Card holders. That's a lot of utility packed into one industry, and every industry has just as much utility.
Got it.
Got it?
I agree. Next.
I don't get it.
Okay, then tell us your version of utility in an NFT.
I'm probably the most boring guy in the room here because I hear all this stuff, like what you just said. And it sounds really great, and it's like so far over my head. I don't even try to understand it because I know I'm not going to get there. So what we're doing is using NFTs, the utility of an NFT, to solve a very specific problem. And all the people that are buying our NFTs, they don't understand it either. They don't know how to spell NFTs. We've basically used NFTs to open up the diamond market to hard asset investors. And who are these guys? These are people just as boring as me. They're old, white guys that have a lot of money, and they've been putting it into gold and silver. Suddenly, through NFTs, we found a way to make diamonds a viable investment. And it's working, and our sales are going crazy, and the NFT is simply an important piece of the model. But it's like a behind-the-scenes thing. They're buying it, but it's like having a warehouse receipt for gold.
Right, because it's really just a token. It's a token that holds the metadata of that diamond. It's not an art piece, right? It's not something that you're going to go trade in for something else.
Right. Typically, if you have gold bullion, you put the gold bullion in a vault, and you'll have a warehouse receipt. In our case, the NFT is the warehouse receipt for the diamond. That's it.
No, because they can take that NFT and they can stake it and they can borrow against it if they wanted to.
Well, that's what we call DeFi, diamond finance, where that's coming.
Yes, so there are additional use cases that could play out, right?
In the first stage, it's very, very simple. Just a warehouse receipt.
Yep, got it.
And I love both of those comments. In Super World, I think the one way or the one kind of further characterization that I would apply to this is what we want to do is try to focus on, again, the touch points that someone would have in the real life kind of activity that they're doing. And I think everything you said gets them into these other kind of use cases, which are great. And I think our focus on, how do we get the concert goer who doesn't know anything about AR, VR, NFTs, blockchain, Web3, and any of this stuff, really doesn't understand what it means. How do we get them to start taking interactions that get them on the path to what Adrian's talking about? My other colleague here is talking about just diamonds, which is really, I think, all these things touch our real lives in real ways. And a lot of the mainstream audience has this kind of inkling of where they want to go and all this utility. And so our focus is on, again, the physical kind of real stuff they're doing. And Pokemon Go is a good analogy for that because, again, it kind of is a game, but it's also getting people out into places that they interact with in the real world.
So it's enhancing their real world experience rather than placing them into a virtual world and they're living virtually through an avatar. They're experiencing this world, but they're having an enhanced experience through your platform.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my one critique is a lot of people are like, I don't play video games. Like, I don't understand, like, do I need to do something, like, virtually, like, do I have to create an avatar to do this? And a lot of people don't understand that kind of linkage. And what we want to do is make that a lot easier, so they don't necessarily have to go all in, but they can start, again, maybe they buy an NFT, it's a ticket, and now they're getting things to them, and then now they're slowly getting more involved.
Yeah, got it.
All great things, and I definitely agree. I think a good way to summarize what each point was made was that for me, NFT utility means that you are providing an additional service, product, or reward that's tied to the NFT and the blockchain technology itself. So instead of it just being a one-layer thing where you're collecting a piece of art or a video or a song, that comes with an added functionality of being rewarded for holding it, using it to enter a place, or having it backed by an asset, having it be a collectible concert ticket. Like adding a utility to anything that is an NFT means that you're giving something else with it. And so that for me kind of sums it up, that it gets the benefits of one of those features, again, like a service product or some type of reward, so that way you get a bonus.
I look at it almost exactly the opposite, but exactly that. It's like, yes, that's what the user's experiencing, but from the creator side of it, adding that additional ability for them to use it, that utility that they then contribute to the entire ecosystem and the increased revenue of the actual product helps me not violate the Howey test. So when they can actually participate, then it's not an investment of money into an enterprise that someone else does all the work and you get the benefit. Because it's a utility, they have to use it to benefit. And that's, so it's exactly what you said. But from the creator side, I just don't ever want to have to wear orange. I don't look good in orange.
I do look good, but I don't want to wear it. Okay. So my good friend Chris Lee from Artifact, you guys all saw Artifact was acquired by Nike not too long ago. So he was creating these cool NFTs, and there's these shoes, right? And there's this model where, okay, if you own the NFT, you can, during a forging event, you can actually get the physical pair.
In your size.
In your size, exactly. And the NFT doesn't get burned when you do that. What happens is you don't pay any fees to get that first pair. The NFT still has value because now you can go sell it, and the next person can buy it, they can still get that same pair of shoes, but now they have to pay a little bit of a fee if they want to forge the actual shoe. And then the next owner that wants to forge that pair of shoes, they pay a little bit more, right? And so it doesn't get burned, it doesn't go away. So what's interesting about this is the partnerships that have come since then have really been amazing, and I think that's what we're seeing right now is the NFTs that have utility, as they get adopted and they become more desirable, there's more partnerships that come to play. And so now he's working with so many different companies and artists that they're doing new NFTs. And if you own this NFT, then you get a drop of this NFT and it gives you access to this event. So as you guys are looking at different utility use cases, what do you see the future of utility for NFTs being?
You brought up the perfect point, which is sneakers. This is a huge market. My friend's husband has like over 1,000 pairs of very valuable, very rare sneakers. But think of Nike when we have a Metaverse Mall. They can literally almost focus group what they should make in the real life. Because if they don't sell in the Metaverse, they're probably not a good style. But if they sell out, that might be something hot that they then put in the stores. So for brands, I think the more utility that we can add to these NFTs, the more likely they are to start not just putting a toe in, but going all in.
I was going to mention too with like Superworld. So Chris really cares about the sustainability of the ecosystem. So he wants less shoes being made. And so the idea is, hey, if we can just have this pair of white shoes and then using something like your platform, if you own that NFT, anybody who has the future of the glasses, right, the AR glasses, sees your artifact shoes on your feet, even though you're just wearing like a very inexpensive, cheap pair of shoes, right? And so you're collecting digital shoes that can be represented in the real world rather than actually buying and storing 1,000 pairs of Nikes in your closet, right? And for the sustainability. So I thought that was a really interesting use case and idea.
That would be so cool. It's an AR flex.
Then we end up living in just the AR world, the metaverse. And
Well, no, because he's talking about walking around with just glasses and you got a little heads up and all of a sudden you go, ooh, she's got Louboutins. Even though I broke my Louboutins.
Okay, let me give you another utilization, if I could.
Please.
So this is a little different from our normal business, but we've been retained to tokenize the Miss Universe crown. And this is going to be released at probably December of this year, where we're going to be creating 20,000 fractionalized units of the Miss Universe crown, which puts it at, if you do the arithmetic on the value of the crown, about $100 to own a piece of the Miss Universe crown. Okay, we're doing that, but I'm trying to figure out what's the value of owning a piece of the Miss Universe crown. But I finally figured it out.
That's what I was asking. Right. Okay, cool.
So let's say you're my girlfriend. And ow! It's Valentine's Day, right? And so what do I get for Valentine's Day? I did the roses, I did the perfume, I did all that stuff. What if I could go to her and say, this year I'm giving you a piece of the Miss Universe crown as an NFT, because to me, you'll always be my Miss Universe. Okay, is that a great line or what?
It's a very great line. And I can plus that, if you've ever watched the Little Miss Sunshine, there are about 100,000 million zealot potential pageant girls. And I have to tell you, when I was doing, I went through a weight loss thing, I on the wall, I had my Dancing with the Stars Latin, just barely there, Latin dress. I looked at it every single day. So those little girls who want to be Miss Universe, they get that, and then that is their thing, and that's their visualization thing, and they meditate to that NFT every day.
I love it.
There you go.
What do you guys have to say about that? Or anything else you want to say? Comment on that.
No, I think that's a really, again, real world kind of use case where you're giving someone, the ability to interact with something that is core to what they're doing in their real life, something they strive for, probably work every day to achieve. It's kind of a long-term goal for them, and they can, again, kind of tangibly kind of understand what that is. And I think that's the key there, is that a lot of the things that we're doing on stage, or you guys in the audience are working on, for a lot of people in the mainstream world, this is still a few blocks away from their understanding. But that's a great example of something that people can really kind of touch and feel and can connect with.
And you could also use it as a membership access token, where if they have this NFT, you've got a community, and that community is chock full of master classes from past winners, and it's sponsored by Aquanet, and spray-on tans, and all of the things that they need, and the tape that lifts your butt so that you've got a booty when you're in the bathing suit, swimsuit competition, and all those things you would advertise and play back there. But they have access to things and events and trainings that they normally wouldn't because they have this token, but then they all get to talk to each other and create community, and then maybe they won't fight backstage so much. I'm just saying, it could improve the world.
Two examples of things we've done already that I think have real-world utility that, again, we've already kind of executed on. One is an NFT that, again, allows a business to innovate their current business model. So there's a luxury club called Custom House in New York and Miami, and they're opening up a new custom house on the water in Miami. If you've heard of it, it's called Ark House. And they've now started selling NFTs through Superworld that give lifetime memberships to their club. So if you buy one of those, you can resell it. So you can keep it for a few years, enjoy the club. And then now, ostensibly the club will get more and more expensive as more people get involved in it. And so this allows them to, one, be innovative, attract an audience of, potentially crypto, tech-forward kind of people who want that ability, but then also allow them to experiment with what happens if they release 10, lifetime memberships of NFTs. How does that affect their overall business? How does it allow them to experiment with this audience, allow the things that you mentioned, other benefits of that NFT, social utility, other things.
But the value, so for value creation, having an NFT that gives utility, it actually is like a requirement of the creator to continuously make sure that NFT retains its value and goes up. So the service level of that club is going to go up, right? They're going to continuously make that more and more valuable because they're probably going to do what most creators should do, and we're going to be able to do in everything pretty soon. Write that royalty contract in there so that every time it's transferred, they get a little something, which will usually at least be the cost of the membership normally, not the new high value because you can't get it because it's not gettable. It's perfect.
I totally agree with everything, and I think in addition to the added benefit of being able to use this technology to do things digitally in a way that we never really did before, implementation of AR, I think one of the biggest things that will come out in the future will be more systematic approaches to use of the blockchain and NFTs, less profit, money-driven, more application as far as like inventory, for example. You can really use NFTs and the blockchain to keep a very precise track of inventory and use that to go in line with the physical product, so that way you know that one for one, as long as you have this many NFTs, you have this many things. Also for supply chain, using the blockchain to, instead of the coded language, being Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, it'll be information, data, PDFs, files, documents. Like there'll be things and uses for NFTs that won't be about money because it won't really be something you can make money from. It'll be something that you use, like its initial use was for documents, for legal things. In place of like a notary. So I think as these things evolve and we find more applications and use to earn rewards and get involved with community, I think more businesses will also see that systematic ability and use that to create more functionality in our world. So that way we can streamline things, have all that documented on an open ledger system, and really make use of what the blockchain has available. And NFTs really kind of bring light to that and make it easier to do that, for sure.
The great part about that is what you touched on is identity, right? The signing of the legal documents. There's a company, I have no affiliation, I'm just in love with them because they solve the problem. It's called SnapNurse, and it is a digital identity, which is technically an NFT. And you add, each person adds their licensing, their degree, their vaccination schedule, everything that they need. Right now it takes 3 weeks to get approved to work at a new hospital, but with SnapNurse you walk in, scan a QR code, you go to work. It solves a huge problem, and that's the supply chain of labor that we're facing right now. So NFTs can be actually anything. They can solve any problem. We've been doing luxury goods, like you're doing diamonds now. We've been doing Louis Vuittons for 5 years. So it's a big thing, and I think it will drive mainstream adoption. I think the token part, the cryptocurrency, the previous iteration of ICOs, the big craze, you had all this technical analysis, and tokenomics, and candlestick charts, and they made your eyes roll in the back of the head. People didn't get it. Art. Why didn't we think of art back then? We never thought of art, but now that's bringing everybody into the conversation, and now they're starting to get, oh, this is useful. Oh, we can do this. Now I think we have the potential to drive mainstream adoption.
Agreed. We're out of time. So this was a lot of fun. I mean, we could probably go on for another
days.
Okay, days. But we're done. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we need to get something really quick. Thank you. You guys having a good time?